Hello, YEG Gooner back again with another one. Hey, yo, it's another Gooner Diaries video. Yo, guys, I can't lie, yeah. 10 games in, I'm starting to think that you do 10 games in to do your prediction is cheating. Nah, it's not. It's not. I love what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our usual thing, yeah. We're gonna talk about some history, talk about things you should know. You feel me? Trying to say, like, you're an Arsenal fan, yeah. If you don't know, I am here to tell you this is what you should know. And if you didn't know and you found out today, hey yo, like and subscribe. You feel me? Once a week we do a Gunnar Diaries video. You get me? Mainly a gaming, well, tourist, like mainly a gaming channel. You get me? Football Manager 26 is coming out, I believe, next week. We will get on it. We will get on it. I think I'm gonna do a journeyman save. I'm gonna have three different types of saves. I'm gonna do what I usually do. I'm gonna do a prelude, have three different types of saves riled up, and then we'll go from there. But regardless, let's get into this. Now, who we're gonna be talking about is, so we've talked about many managers. We've talked about players. What we haven't done is we haven't talked about an executive. Now, we're gonna be talking about David Dean. Do you guys know who David Dean is? What's important about David Dean? First of all, let me just do the thing where I just read. You feel me? Actually, no. Let's go to the top of my head. Okay. So like, David Dean was so instrumental for Arsene Wenger coming into our club. It's actually ridiculous. I believe as soon as George Graham had, I think it was it gambling? It was George Graham didn't leave Arsenal because he got fired or he wasn't successful. He left Arsenal because of like some kind of scandals, a scandal, it's like a financial scandal or whatnot. I think he got suspended, right, or something like that, right? And then, what happened in the end is, I think, was it a Galatasaray game? Was it in Turkey or was it Arsenal played Galatasaray and Arsene Wenger was there? And basically, David Dean, his wife, they met up with Arsene Wenger and they basically just had lots of chats and they kicked it off. And then they were just like, "Yo, this man's gone. Let's try and get Arsene Wenger in," and that didn't work out. So then I believe we got a caretaker manager. Then we got in another manager, and I can't remember this manager's name, but he failed miserably at Arsenal. Arsene Wenger went from Marseille, and he was no. He went from Monaco. He was so pissed off with what happened with Monaco and how Monaco basically were cheating. They were basically cheating. It was a scandal where they were cheating. And so I think Marseille beat him to in Europe. It wasn't Champions League. I think it was UEFA or Cup Winners' Cup, one of the two. He beat him inside a European competition, and man was just cheesed and devastated and heartbroken with football. So he went to Japan, right? Went to Japan. I think it got Gampus 86, something like that. Managed that team, and he killed it there. He killed it there. Took a very bad team. This is what him and Gary Lineker have their. Here's where him and Gary Lineker have the connection. Also, the Monaco thing is, he has all those connections to players like Lillian. I'm talking about Wenger so much right now versus talking about David Dean. Let's move. So David Dean basically won Wenger after the whole George Graham thing because they linked up. So they've linked up. They've had a chat. They've gone to dinner after the game and everything. They linked up, and then it's like, yo, like, I like this guy. The majority of the board and executives did not believe in Wenger, and then so they went for someone else. I can't remember the man them's name. So then after that, that man them got fired. That's when they brought in Wenger from China, or Japan, from Japan. From Japan. Now David Dean began as a bun that. Actually, no. Okay, so then he's sugar trader. Then he became chairman of Arsenal between 19. Why did they say? Okay, yeah, this is his tenure. So 1983 to 2007. 2007 is a very important year. Um, this is when we started to rot. He appointed when he bought 16% share for the. Look how tiny. Like, I'm not saying it's tiny, but look how small that is. Look how small that is compared to how much we're worth now, right? And then Arsenal's chairman in 1983. At the time, David Dean purchased in Till would described as Dean as Hill would describe Dean as lazy to invest his money into the club. Lazy, huh? He was lazy to invest his money into the club, stating that to all intents and purposes, it's dead money. Dean built up his shares until he owned up to 42% of the club in 1991. Over the next decade, debts occurred forced him to sell just short of 30% to co-director Danny Fitzman for approximately 11. Oh man, he put in this much and got this much back. I don't know how much the debts were, right? His remaining shares were believed to be worth in a region of 57 million to 65 million. Bruh, come on, man. Clap for my guy. So then we're looking at a situation where man's put his own money into the club. Glazers didn't do that. Glazers bought the club with debt. Man put his own money into the club to buy, and he kept on buying shares so he got a pretty decent chunk. And he got about 57 to 65 million worth of shares remaining, but he sold for 11 million, which is amazing. Now, Dean was one of the architects of the Premier League in 1992, which reshaped the structure of finances in English football. So the huge money boom we're getting, apparently he's one of the architects for it. Right? I felt football was really a sleeping giant and had a long way to go. Okay, now let's bun that success with Wenger. That's what we want to know. During his time in the club, he was active role in transfers, players, and negotiating contracts. Dean was behind the appointment of the little-known Arsene Wenger to the managerial job in 1996. Under Wenger, Arsenal won Premier League 3 times, FA Cup 7 times, and Dean strongly backed him and his transfer plans. To be honest, like too much. Following the dismissal of George Graham in February 1995, he tried to convince his fellow board members to appoint Wenger. I already said this. They were reluctant to bring an unknown Frenchman managing in Japan and appointed Bruce Roach. This guy, yeah. Following the dismissal of Roach, Dean again suggested Wenger should be hired. His efforts proved to be successful. Wenger appointed as manager of Arsenal in October 1996. It is generally agreed that without Dean, Wenger would never have been appointed manager. Again, like I said, they had like a whole thing where they linked up beforehand. They had a personal relationship before it even happened. You know what I'm trying to say? Dean was instrumental in the club's recruitment of players. In September 1991, he helped Arsene Wenger sign Ian Wright for Crystal Palace for 2.5 million. White later stated that Dean was always very close to the players. He was like a father figure to us, and everybody loved him. In June 1995, Dean signed Dutch international Dennis Bergkamp for 7.5 million from Internazionale. Okay, I'm not gonna go over all of this Highbury stuff and the departure and then the whole shareholder thing. Actually, you know what? I'll go over the shareholder thing just so people have, like, so you guys have an idea of the issues. Because I said 2006 was, like, one of the issues. Like, when David Dean left and the whole shareholder thing, this is, like, a huge, is a huge thing in our history, right? And what's happened is you can see all of these names that are highlighted over here with the marks and whatever. These are all different people that had shares with Arsenal Football Club. And where's the good old Cronkies? But basically there was a divide in where the direction of the club should go, and Dean sold his shares to this man over here. And I do believe he sold his shares to him because he wanted him to take over. That's what people say. He wanted him to take over. Again, bear in mind, this is 2007, 2006. I'm born in 1993, so I want y'all to understand where my head's at when this is all happening. So all of the things that I know about is from listening to other people. And so, but then selling the shares weren't enough for, I'm even going to try and Usman to take over the club. The Cronkies did what the Cronkies gonna do. And yeah, man. And to be honest, it's taken a very long time for Arsenal to take full control of the Cronkies, to take full control of the club. And that's why we have so much turmoil. Maybe I'll do a thing on the Cronkies later on. But David Dean, You need to know this guy as an executive. He's so instrumental in our Premier League era, Invincible era, 7 FA Cups, like 3 Premier League, not even 3 Premier Leagues. Because he was there, George Graham, so he was there 83. I wish they gave him a trophy haul. Like they did a thing where they showed his trophy cabinet. Wait, yeah, I wish they did a thing where it showed his trophy cabinet. So I don't, so I know off the, cause I don't know off the top of my head. But just think about everything Arsene Wenger did, and I think 7 FA Cups Arsene Wenger had, but maybe about two to three of them David Dean wasn't around for them. But anyways, yeah, big up David Dean. Thank you so much for what you've done for my club. Love you, mate. Now we're gonna go over some crazy stuff. We're gonna go over the Premier League table. Gonna go over my thoughts of the game we have tomorrow. What I think we should do for our lineup. And when I mean what I think we should do, I must say delusional shit. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm an Arsenal fan, and so when I'm talking from my heart. I'm not talking from my brain. You get what I'm trying to say? There'll be times where it kind of, you know what I'm trying to say, but most of the times that's me talking shite. That's what it is. Now, European top rankings. Okay, for goals. Wait, can I? Yeah, so goals: Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, all up there. Hey, darling. Hey, baby girl. Hmm. No, daddy's recording. I'll be back. Yeah. Close the door. Charlotte closed. Anywho, if you can hear in the background, I apologize. Just opened the office door and left it open. It's calm. She's only 3. Um, and then so we go to goals conceded. This is crazy. I didn't know Bayern only conceded 3 goals. Is this? It has to be all in. Roma's only conceded 5 goals as well. That's crazy. Goal difference. Well, 33 goals, and then like, come on, like, you know what I'm trying to say. Possession. That's crazy. 72. Clean sheet 7, but PSG has 6. Lyon has 6 as well. So I don't watch those leagues so much. So it's good to look at these kind of things, right? Now let's just go to where I actually want to be. I want to be at the Premier League table. So look at the Premier League table with Sunderland dropping points. Well, to be honest, like, it sounds harsh to say Sunderland dropping points because it is Sunderland, but they did drop points, right? For me, I think they're doing a brilliant job. But we are over here. Closest team to us is Manchester City. Manchester City play Liverpool next. And Gooners, this is what I want to say. I don't care what happens with this matchup. Our minds, we should be only focused. Our only true focus should be on Sunderland. That's about it. No if, buts, or maybes. Like, don't think about what they're doing. No looking there. Stay in our house. Look at what we're doing. One game at a time. Come on, you Gooners. You feel me? Now, for tomorrow's game versus Prague. Slavia Prague. Okay, for tomorrow's game versus Slavia Prague, like, me personally, Jokeris. No, that's not right. He has more than 4 goals. Or is this in, like, what? He has more than 4 goals. Anyways, versus Slavia Prague, we're playing tomorrow. We're playing early kickoff. I'm gonna have to rewatch that. I can't watch it live. I'm working. I can take my break, watch one half, watch the other half later. Besides the point. Now we have what's called a little bit of an injury crisis. A little bit of an injury crisis. Just a little bit. It's just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. People may not know this, but Gyökeres out. Madueke out. Odegaard out. Kai Havertz out. Okay? Kai Havertz out. Martinelli out. That's 5 players. 5 of them. That's a lot of players. I believe I'm missing a couple of people, but that's 5 players. Most of them are attackers. I'm not mentioning like Jesus and, I'm trying to say, I'm not mentioning that man. You get me? But they're all out. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, this is what I think we should do for our lineup. Okay? Here's what I think we should do for our lineup. Um, right back, because this is Champions League. We have to respect our opponents. Okay, we can't mess around. I actually think we should rotate the whole back line. Except from Raya, obviously. I think we should rotate the whole back line. And I say this for two reasons. One, I believe it's good for the back line to get synergy together. And I do think that Saliba is in and out with his ankle injury. You get what I'm trying to say? So White, play Mascara, plays Hip Happier, and then left back, Miles Lewis Skelly. That's how I think we should go. Midfield, I think we should go with, well, Zubimendi. We can't even play Zubimendi, so I do think we should go with Norgard, Rice, and Wanyeri. That's why I think we should go for midfield. And then the top, Bukayo Saka starting. Right on the left, Eze, and this sounds crazy. I think we start off with what's his name? How do I say his name properly? Amas? Harrison Amas? The youngster, the 17-year-old. I think we should go with him up front. Now this is the reason I think we should go with him up front and leave Moreno and leave Trossard on the bench, right? The reason I think we should bring Dalman. The reason I think that is because I think if we are getting a good flow in the game, because we have Saka on, and we have Eze on, because we have those guys on, if we're doing really well and we got two goals, two goals, and we're comfortable, you take him off, bring on Moreno, put Moreno up front, take off Saka, put Dalman on, and then take off Eze, put Trossard on. I think we should start off really strong, but then still have an element of someone that's got fresh legs. Someone you can take off in 45 minutes and bring someone in on. Because you have to respect your opponents, but like with the injuries we have, we don't want, like, this is a problem with injuries. When you have injuries, it means that more people have to carry a workload, and when more people carry a workload, it means the possibility of more people get injured, and we don't want that. Now, I don't want to talk about the Burnley game. Not because, no, let's talk a little bit about Burnley. I think that was Gyökeres' best performance. I watched thoroughly. I had an issue where my daughter was playing football at the same time, so I was, you know what I'm trying to say? So I'm watching both, and from what I looked at, it sucks that Gyökeres is injured just because he linked best overall performance for Arsenal, and I feel like there was still levels he can get up. There's still levels he can get up, and I feel like in the second half, if he was there, this is the problem with him being injured. I don't think Moreno can do what he does, because the balls he put up, the reason he was able to get that is because the defenders were so wary of him, and they didn't, like, the passes he made. I don't think people knew he could do that, and it's one of those things where we play Sunderland, they'll be second guessing if he can actually continue to do that. Saka should have scored 2 goals. We should have been up 4-0 going into the second half. You get what I'm trying to say? Now going into Sunderland, for us, this is why I'm saying this match week is just as important as the Newcastle match week. And with that being said, the reason why it's important is because we can go 4 wins of 4 and go to international break, and then we're back at Spurs. The reason why it's important, I know I said we should look into our own house because of what's going on, you know, with them guys. Let's not talk about that. But it's YG Gooner. You know how we do, baby. Peace.